Additional tips and tricks. Objective. Students will be able to apply various classroom management techniques to their daily classroom routine. In this presentation, we are going to view a few additional techniques that are useful when managing a class. Many of the techniques mentioned in this lesson are basic techniques that every teacher should have as a part of their classroom management repertoire. These simple strategies will help save a lot of time and energy when managing a classroom. So let's take a look at these few additional techniques. Number 1, walking the classroom. Teachers walk around the classroom when teaching an engaging lesson, monitoring student activity, and supporting individual students. Walking the classroom is a great way to monitor and manage your students. It enables the teacher to engage with students and build relationships, which is another component of classroom management. Walking the room keeps students guessing where you will be next. Newsflash! There is a direct correlation between distance of the teacher from the student and behavior. The closer the teacher is to the student normally, the better the student's behavior. Teachers who walk around the classroom and monitor student conduct usually maintain much better classroom control. Number 2, hand signals. Hand signals are a good nonverbal classroom management technique. Discussion isn't always necessary for certain situations. That's when hand signals come into play. Here are some benefits of classroom hand signals. The first benefit is fewer disruptions and management issues, especially with students who are frequent flyers, always raising their hands for anything. Second, you know exactly what the student needs based on the hand signal they use, and you can respond with a nod or a shake without missing a beat during teaching. How to use hand signals. Be sure to post pictures of the signals on the wall as a reminder. Teach the signals the first few weeks of school and use them consistently. Remind students to use these symbols constantly. Simple hand signals. A. Holding up the number 1 means I need a tissue. B. Raising crossed fingers means I need to use the bathroom. C. Holding up 3 fingers means I need water. And D. Raising a pencil in the air means my pencil needs to be sharpened. You can use hand signals for other parts of the lesson. These are just a few that meet the basic needs of students. Technique number 3, change seats. Sometimes we have chatty students or talkative classes. This can be problematic because chatty students can distract other students. A talkative class can hinder the teacher and slow down the lesson. If this is a scenario you are familiar with, rearranging seats is one possible solution to the problem. Option 1 for changing seats. Changing the seats of a few key students is a great option. This option always worked well for me when I only had a few students causing a disruption. Using this option when you have only a few hot spots and moving no more than 5 students will do the trick. Try to move the talkative student to seats near students who are quiet and focused. Move them near students who won't give the chatterbox any attention. Move the quiet kids to the chatty section. The point is to balance the noise out. Option 2, change the entire seating chart. Consider this option if the original arrangement isn't working at all and moving 5 students isn't going to do the trick. Try to put careful thought into how you will rearrange your class. This option will take a lot of time and thought. Basically, you are trying to reach a balance, a good mix of quiet blended with talkative. Creating an entirely new seating chart can feel like a difficult puzzle you are trying to solve. But once you reach the ideal balance, you will be able to teach your class with more ease than before. Technique 4, collective punishment, do's and don'ts. Teachers have used this strategy for years in order to gain control of an unruly class. Some teachers think it's a good technique, while others may frown upon it. Let's take a look at the pros and cons of using collective punishment in the classroom. Pros and cons of collective punishment. This strategy usually gets results. Students exhibit calmer behavior for the next lesson. On the flip side, you can alienate good students. It can create resentment and damage your influence. Let's take a look at a few options that will prevent resentment. Option 1, reteach the routine or procedure to the entire class. Try having the class redo the routine if the majority of the class did it incorrectly. When you ask students to repeat a routine, you are not taking anything away from them. They aren't missing recess or arriving late to lunch or losing out on class points. Option 2, hold individual students accountable. Instead of punishing the entire class, hold individual students accountable when they misbehave by following your classroom management plan. This way, you'll never alienate students, cause resentment, or feel the need to punish everyone for the behavior of a few. Option 3, issue a collective punishment. Sometimes the majority of your class may get off task or frequently misbehave. This is where collective punishment can be effectively issued to the entire class. If the entire class is issued a punishment, be sure to explain your rationale to your students. Sample reasons. These examples are from Bill Cecil's book, Best Year Ever. Explain to them that we are all in this together. There are many real-world examples that prove this point. First reason, this class is a team, and we will succeed or fail as a team. Second reason, behavior is everyone's business. If you see someone doing something they shouldn't, get them to stop because that behavior is going to harm all of us. And this classroom will reflect the real world. Sample collective consequence. A good way to issue a collective punishment is to warn them up front. Explain the consequences. A sample consequence could be, if I have to stop the activity 3 times because it's too loud in here, we will all need to clean up early.